Welcome back to BlackManProblems. I am Anthony Brown.
And I am Ciaran Callum.
And today we're going to be talking about interracial relationships.
Yeah.
Different types of relationships, all mixed up model, because it's something that back in the day would be a little bit more taboo to see, and we've seen a lot more and more of it now. And we thought we should definitely talk about it because some people, it jars with some people. Some people don't like it, some people really champion it.
Yeah, and even though we have noticed that the world is starting to change and more people are doing it, at the same time you can still tell that some people have issues.
In fact, the last week we've had two comments that kind of relate to this subject, and the first one was by some random guy. I forgot his name, but you know what? We'll put it at the bottom of the screen.
No.
But he said something on the lines of, it was really racist comment, so he was saying something about you two black monkeys, really racist stuff, so yeah, this guy's got problems. All you ever do is take the ugly white women that we don't want and date them because you can't find beautiful black women yourselves.
Yeah, he said that's all you're good for.
Yeah. So when we read comments like this, we analyse it at first, we're like, oh.
Didn't he call us ugly monkeys?
Ugly monkeys is what he went
yeah,
to.
monkey faced, yeah.
It was vicious. Like, when someone's so racist, it doesn't make you angry. You're just like,
whoa. Well, yeah, this is it. I got that message and smiled. I got a smile because I knew the guy was just trying to hurt our feelings.
Yeah.
But he had nothing though.
Yeah.
He had nothing.
He literally came at us with nothing. And
Actually,
I thought,
you know what was ridiculous about that?
Go ahead.
So the video that this guy left a comment with
Yeah.
was Worst Dates Part 2 with Caroline Walker.
Yeah.
Caroline is a very beautiful white woman.
Exactly.
On that episode, he says that we're trying to go for the white women that no one else wants. Clearly the girl's beautiful.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Like universally.
Yeah, she is. There's you know what I mean? So for someone to look at that and then try and say that
the ugly girls that we don't want.
Yeah, firstly, Caroline's just a friend.
Yeah,
anyway.
a good friend.
A friend. But yeah, to look at that and go, you're trying to go for the white women no one wants. Fuck off.
And why is it making you... And why would it make you angry? If anything, you'd be like, oh, they've done us a favour. These ugly black monkeys are taking the ugly girls that we don't want. You'd be like, thank God, because...
Yeah, it's being a bit greedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Being a bit greedy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas
if you
you're
don't want them,
angry...
why can't we have them?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Fuck me, man.
So there's something definitely else there that's deep-rooted within that person. So some people just kind of don't like seeing interracial... They don't see black people with other white people. They feel like their women are being stolen. And it's not just black and white. It's black with Hispanic, with Chinese, with Indian, and just different races, because I think it's just how society has, put a really bad image on black people, for one.
So what experiences do you have of interracial dating?
So my first ever proper girlfriend was Greek. So she had a different culture to mine, which I always found interesting. Because I'm growing up with black people around me, black culture, very, I know everything about my roots. So when I see other cultures, like Greek and Spanish or Chinese, I find it fascinating. I want to know more about it. So the first one was Greek. What else? What other races have I dated? Romanian, Hungarian. I dated a Chinese girl, half Chinese, half Indian, in fact, for 7 years. But her family were really, really, really against her being with a black guy, so I could never visit her family in China.
But she told her family about it.
Yeah, they knew, but I don't think it was something that, I'm pretty sure her mum really didn't like it. Her dad kind of disapproved, but it was more like the mum, or either or, one of the two.
It was probably the dad, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because I was in a relationship with a Sri Lankan girl. And Sri Lankan girl, but she grew up in Australia. Yeah. So for all intents and purposes, she was Australian.
Okay.
Now I'm with the girl for about 6 years. Never once did she tell her parents about me. And it got to the point where... It was to the point where, if I was with her and she called her mum or her mum called her, I had to just shut up. I couldn't even...
Oh, she couldn't let on that you were in the house at the same time, nothing like that?
No. For the duration of that relationship, her dad didn't know I existed. Her mum kind of figured something out, but then decided not to tell her dad because it's she couldn't risk the man having a heart attack knowing that her daughter was going out with a black guy.
Oh my God. So what are we supposed to do, in a situation like that where you're dating someone, you fall in love with them, or you really like them, you just start a relationship, but you know deep down that the parents or one of the parents disapproves. Like, what advice? I'm trying to think what I've learned that I can say to you. Like, you can try and kill them with kindness in some sort of way. Learn their language if they speak a different language. Maybe surprise them with that. Because a lot of people have got preconceived ideas of what you might be like as a person on the basis of your colour or race.
Well, okay. What I would say is, I think
Educate them somehow.
There's two possible options. There's option number one, which is they're just going to dislike you or hate you because you're not what they think you should be. And there's nothing you can do about that. Number two is like, there might be reasons as to why they feel like you're unsuitable. So, for instance, at a guess, I would imagine that, say, my ex, who never told her parents, well, she was from like a really wealthy family, a very wealthy family. When I say like, I mean like wealth.
They had money.
Like, you know, like Chris Rock said, talk about the difference between rich and wealth.
Oh, she had the wealth.
Her family's wealthy. Wealthy. Like, multiple homes around
like old money kind of wealth.
Old money.
Old money. Okay,
No, my point is this, like, so if I became a gazillionaire, like, that might give a dad reason to think like,
oh, he's okay. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not just going to come in and thief money from the family and inherit what they've worked so hard for.
Actually, I have a friend who's in an interracial relationship, and he has won over the family of his girlfriend. And the reason he did that was by actively proving that he didn't have negative
tendencies about him. The stereotypes of the negative stereotypes that every
he
black person goes
slowly
through.
won them over.
Okay, so there is a way to kind of, like, we shouldn't have to win anyone over. Everyone should just accept you on not just face value, but like just how you are as a person. But sometimes I guess you got to do. Oh, is that the door?
It is. All right, we'll just go.
You're gonna get the door.
Our guest name is Mimi.
Hey, hi Mimi.
Hey.
This is Mimi. Usually some people feel really uncomfortable when they go out and they're in an interracial relationship. Like when they go to restaurants, they feel like people are looking at them. Because I know your friend Sandy feels like that when she goes out with her boyfriend, because she's Indian and her boyfriend is French, Caucasian. So she definitely gets a lot of looks and stares. I mean, did you ever get looks and stares? I don't think I ever went through it personally.
Yeah. So, alright. When I was with the Asian girl, the Sri Lankan girl, walking down the street, like, Asian people just look all the time.
Oh, really? So it's more from the Asian community?
Yeah. Because basically, as un-PC as it might be to say, that community is a lot more...
Not so tolerant with the...
Yeah. They're very, like, closely knit and together and stuff. And it's rare to see people, like, stray from the flock.
Yeah.
So we would be in restaurants and, like, whole families would be sat just looking at us. No, but, like, the whole family. Yeah.
What is this?
They would be looking at us and then they would talk.
In disgust.
You'd see them conferring and they'd go back to looking like they...
It's because they're just not used to it. Because, like, even in... Is it... what culture it is? I don't want to say it to get it wrong. But where they marry into castes as well. For the longest time when they say castes, I always thought it was, like, some kind of, like... It was part of the religion. I didn't know they meant actually castes of skin colour. Like, grades of colour. Because the Indians that worked in the lower kind of poverty... Like down the lower spectrum, like the poor people, they were usually darker in skin, and the Indians that were like richer and had better jobs and more money would usually be a lot lighter. So when they marry in Indian culture, they marry into the same religion and caste of color, skin tone as well. So that's something that's very geared within that culture anyway. So like they're kind of bred to think in that way, whereas we. No, I've never, like, it's not part of a religion I follow or anything like that, so I don't think in that way. And plus, like, black people, I'm quite shocked that is part of some Indian culture, because, like, we've got racism in the worst way. That's almost like another type of racism, but within their own culture, I would think.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah. I would be like, man, we need to stop that. Like, it's bad enough as it is already, never mind we're doing it to ourselves.
You know, so I've had the least amount of racism from. And Caucasians, you're gonna love this. But in terms of like interracial dating, the least amount of it has actually come from white people. But I guess that's because I've been like growing up.
True.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But I guess that's
really
because
true.
But it's because of like when we grew up though. Because I started dating like basically after the year 2000, and after the year 2000, that was when white people started to like unmask. Go, you know what? This racism thing, it's not on, is it? But if we
it's
were
still
like,
there.
it's still there.
Not in your face.
Completely gone.
It's not in your face this time like it used to be.
Like,
nigger. It'd just be like that back in the day.
Basically.
They just make you sit at the back of the bus type of things. Now it's kind of
my ex, who I'm no longer with, well, we were engaged, which meant that I basically met her whole family.
And she was Caucasian.
Yeah, she was white as snow. But it's like, while I am sure that her family probably would have preferred I was white, they took me in, and I felt loved by that family.
Yeah,
I did.
I
felt loved.
When I was dating
I've never actually, to be
felt
fair,
uncomfortable.
I've never dated a white person and seen like and felt anything. Although actually, there's times when I'm with a white girl and I see like white guys looking at us.
Oh yeah,
and, I've had that.
Yeah, I've had that, especially if she's like of a certain grade of attractiveness, shall we say, if we can put it to grades. Politically incorrect by saying that, but the more attractive the girl is, they feel like the more right that we shouldn't have her anyway.
And then, actually, I see black women looking at me. You ever get that one as well?
It used to be a lot worse back in the day. A lot worse back in the day. It's gotten better, but like I feel like there's not many good black brothers around.
Yeah, you know what?
To waste.
To be fair, yes, it's not all black women.
It's not all. It's not all. We don't want to go down that route. We don't want to go down that route
again, though. It's
a
percentage.
But speaking of like different interracial relationships, like let's think of the celebrities that have interracial relationships that have surprised people, like Eve, who is like
she's with a white guy.
She's with a white guy, and she's like really like hip hop. You know, who's that girl with the white man? It's Eve.
Yeah, that's not.
And no one expected this, and I think she gets a lot of stick for it as well.
I can't think of anyone else though. He's the one that's in a relationship. Oh, actually, yeah. There's a comedian called Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is one of my favorites.
A comedian called Bill Burr. He's an American comedian.
Yes.
He's funny as all hell. He's actually my favourite comedian.
Yeah, he's
now,
awesome.
This is like the whitest man you'll ever see in your life. He's just white. Like literally, like the guy's so white he's transparent. But it's like,
sorry, Bill. But it's true.
But he's in a relationship with a black woman.
Yeah.
Apparently, like black women are his thing as well. Oh, and you know Russell Brand.
Really?
Well, I know that Russell Brand once tried to pick up Serena Williams.
No.
Yeah. He didn't get anywhere, but he gave it a shot though.
I'm not surprised. Russell Brand can get anything he wants. Who's the other person? I was just thinking when you said that. Chelsea. She got her own talk show. American.
Chelsea Handler.
Chelsea
oh yeah, she was
Handler.
with 50 Cent.
She was with 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
That's another surprise on both sides. I'm surprised that 50 Cent would have went with a girl.
Chelsea Handler's like one of the whitest white women you could ever. Yeah.
And it makes it publicly known that she loves black guys, and she went out with.
Does she really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah. We should get Chelsea on our show.
We kind of do because there's something about her I quite like.
Yeah.
She got this like don't give a shit attitude.
Yeah.
Which I do find kind of appealing.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, if you watch.
You don't meet many women like that, and I like funny women as well, like which is a rarity.
I'm younger than 50 Cent, just so you know.
Yeah.
He's got like.
How old is 50 Cent right now?
He's got to be mid-40s.
Mid-40s.
Actually, hold on. Yeah, I think so. He was like, because when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, that was in like 2003, and he was like 20. Oh no.
I feel like 50 Cent is at least 50.
No.
I don't know why. He's no way that old.
He was in his late 30s.
Yeah.
But we digress.
Old for hip hop.
How have your family reacted to
like different cultures? You know what? I've had it mixed. I can tell like my immediate family are just kind of cool with me being with whoever. They're quite open. But as it branches out like to the older generation, they don't say anything, but I think they kind of would like to see me get with a black girl just because I think they'd just like it anyway, because all the other cousins and family that date black women, so I feel like it's kind of why haven't you kind of thing.
Well, when I was...
I feel like the Uncle Tom if you haven't. Do you know what I mean? When
I was growing up, there were certain members of my family. I'm not going to name certain members of my family.
You know who you are.
Yeah. Certain members of my family. Certain people who are related to me, but who basically used to date outside the race. And other members of the family would talk about it.
So you knew what?
Talk about it. And like this I'm grown. I'm like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
See, but you pick up on it.
Yeah, and like, but then they'd sometimes say to me like, Ciaran, I don't want to see you doing that as well when you're
really.
Yeah. This is in the early 90s, but I've been categorically told I don't want to see you with any white women when you're older. So it's a thing whereby, like, say when I was with my two proper relationships, one with the Sri Lankan girl and one with the white girl.
Yeah.
I felt much more comfortable bringing the Sri Lankan girl to my family, my larger family, because
she had some sort of
there's a feeling that I got growing up, and maybe you had this as well, where it's like if you're going to date outside the race, make sure it's not a white woman.
Yeah, well, at least make sure it's someone that. I definitely had that. So no one says anything. It's like a telepathy.
When I brought that girl back to my family, I could tell there was just like, oh well. She's not white though. I could just kind of tell.
There's some kind of.
But to be fair,
exoticness to them.
Yeah, to be fair,
it's okay.
My family did accept my white ex-fiance. They did.
Yeah.
They really did. And they took her in and blah 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 blah. But I always, I could always
it kind of it plays on your mind. Yeah, it doesn't feel. They're kind of like, okay. So you didn't get a black girl. So it's okay. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything, but I'm going to think it. And there will be conversations once you've left it.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to be a fly on the wall to know what was said at them times. But if you guys have any times you've had I can't say the word.
Interracial.
It
is a bit of a tongue.
Yeah, it's long.
Interracial relationship. Interracial relationship. Oh, I'm doing it. Interracial relationship.
Yeah, you got it now.
Yeah, but yeah, if you've had any, and let us know if they've been positive. Have they not been? Have you ever had to leave a relationship because maybe your cultures were too different and that caused friction? Actually, that's one thing that caused friction with me and the Asian girl.
Yeah.
Because she had different views of family than me, which is odd because one thing that makes Asians and like Jamaicans similar is that family is really important.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that with her. With her, it's like family with these people that you hate, and it's like, oh, I have to see them once a year.
Really?
Yeah, so it made integration difficult because I would like kind of expect her to come to family events and stuff.
And she just really wouldn't want to. I remember that I think the most uncomfortable situation I've ever had with bringing a different cultured girl into my family home is when I was dating a celebrity of TV for a while, and she was
just had to throw that in
but there. She was Indian, right? So it's a different culture anyway, and she was older than me, like far older as well, and I brought her back to my black ass house with all my uncles, all my cousins, family, aunties, and they all recognise who she is from the show she's on. So the minute that she got in the room, my uncle's like, all right, yes. I can't say the name, but they're calling her, not her name, they're calling her character's name from the show that she's on. And they were just loud and being round her and asking questions, just, yes, so tell me about and just being loud. And in the end, she was like, do you mind if I go sit in your room for a little bit? It's kind of just, it's a bit overwhelming. Which I can completely understand. So like sometimes like the culture clash happens in that way. It's not a bad thing in any way, but like sometimes it's just they're not used to it. So in respects, when you do date someone from the same culture, at least they kind of know what they're coming into. So I get it in that respect. But other than that, I think you should be able to date in any other culture and mix it up.
Yeah.
We're all gonna like. What do they say in the future? Like everyone's gonna be
just like one sort of tan.
Yeah.
Tan shade.
Have you ever watched True Romance?
Yeah.
Remember that scene with Christopher Walken?
Oh yeah.
About the Moors.
Yeah, the Moors. Moors doing so much fucking that was it blonde hair and blue eyed turn into brown hair and brown eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if how does it go? And it goes something like, oh, and if that's a lie, like look into my eyes and tell me if I'm lying.
Anyway, if you haven't seen True Romance, watch that. In fact, just YouTube now. Christopher Walken scene, True Romance, the Moors. So it's basically about how the Sicilians were invaded by the Moors, who were all black guys, and because they did so much
raping and pillaging.
Was it raping and pillaging?
Well, yeah, that's.
But yeah, raping and pillaging.
When soldiers invade,
Yeah, they don't just come and say, "Excuse me, do you mind if we come in?"
Like,
what is with that? What's with the raping
it's
on
actually,
the invasion?
It's a large part of the reason why they do it.
Really?
It's a large part of it. Like if you're a soldier, like in an ancient battlefield, but even happens today, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you're a soldier, like half the reason you're going to attack a nation because you know there's going to be loads of women you can fuck. That's actually what they do.
Terrible.
Yeah. So if you notice, like you look through history, like genetic changes in populations come when people get invaded because all the women just get raped. Just raped. Like the world is seriously fucked up.
What is it
going
for? So absolutely raping.
Yeah.
No, we're not promoting that.
Absolutely rape it. Do it again. Oh.
We're not promoting that. But
yeah.
Watch the YouTube clip because it's literally about that and how they changed the bloodline of Sicilians because they used to be blonde hair, blue eyes, and all the Moors came in with the raping and changed the bloodline to forever to tan skin, brown eyes and dark hair.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Yeah. It even happened with us actually, us Jamaicans. We were raped by our white slave owners, which is why
you get like the lighter
skin.
skin.
Yeah, you see
and
this
then
slightly pale skin tone.
So I made it through.
It's because like one of my ancestors was raped by some white guy.
So that's so
I've literally got that in my body right now.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, I think about this, right? Like I can't really blame. Like a lot of people would blame the white person who raped the ancestor.
Yeah.
Which I do, but at the same time, that white person is my ancestor.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? That's white true. Person that raped the ancestor is also my ancestor, right? Which means I'm partly to blame.
Which is why there's no reason being racist to anyone because they're probably in your bloodline already, going to end up in your bloodline at some point. Or most of the people these days, when you go to the doctor or surgery, they're Indian, African, they're different races. So what? You don't want to be cured by someone because they're a different skin color. Most likely, the fact is that when you go to hospital, you're going to be operated on by someone who is not from your background. So there is no point in being racist.
Nah, it's very silly.
So have your interracial relationships and begin the melting pot and keep it going. And all that mingle.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been Anthony Brown. This has been BlackManProblems, and this is
Ciaran Callan.
And leave all your comments down there, and keep subscribing up here, and do all that shit and share.
Yeah. And if you watch this video and hate us, feel free to insult it.
Oh yeah. Put that down there. We'll reply to everything.
But also, constructive feedback is appreciated.
Yeah. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, in fact, then suggest that as well, and we will cover it.
Right. Ta-ra.
Bye. The raping.
I don't place a blame on it because for whatever reason, it's only been like quite recently that black girls have actually started to find me attractive.
Like, yeah, I don't think black girls found me attractive when I was younger either because like I was seen as what they call a bounty. So like, you know, if you don't know what a bounty is, like you can get a chocolate bar in the UK. It's like it's got thin chocolate on the outside.
It's the thinnest sliver.
Yeah, like
the thinnest sliver.